and a very warm welcome to this special. I hope you're all ready and prepared for this Sunday blockbuster coming your way. That's right, it's India versus Pakistan, and it doesn't get bigger than this. After 10 months, India will be playing Pakistan in the Asia Cup opener. And this is a huge moment for these two teams. Both know what's at stake, and as much as the players try to play it down and say it's just a game, fans from both sides of the border, for them it is more than just a game. We have with us Ashok Malhotra, former India cricketer, former selector, who joins us here on this special. Also joining me is Ashar Zaidi, a senior Pakistani journalist who is in Canada. Let me get straight into it, gentlemen. This is a huge moment for the two teams. Finally, the time's arrived. Ashok sir, let me begin with you. Just what the players must be feeling at this moment. I mean, you're 10 minutes away from the toss, 45 minutes from the game to begin. It's a completely sold out stadium. There are fans who will be roaring in the stadium. The national anthems will be played in a while. What must the players be feeling right now?
Believe you me, Meha, there'll be butterflies in this one. Because it's a crunch game. Whatever anybody says, oh, it is another game. It is. Because India-Pakistan game is a crunch game. It is a blockbuster. Everybody, they're G'd up to perform well, do well. They know if they do well in this game, they are hero for probably a lifetime. So definitely it's a huge game. And they will be a bit nervous. As I said before, they will be a bit nervous to start with. But once one or two balls are bowled, then they settle down their nerves, and then they play normally. But the fact is, nobody wants to give an inch. Beat India, beat Pakistan, both are going for win. Believe you me, this is the biggest game in the cricket. It is the biggest game, and there cannot be anything bigger than this. Whichever player tells you, oh, it is one other game, I think he is being politically correct. He does not mean it, and he knows how big it is. Beat Rohit, Sharma or Babar.
Bilkul, absolutely right. Because I think in the beginning, Ashar bhai, unlike what we've seen in the past, at least this time what we're seeing is there's a lot of bromance. But now it's time for all of that to take a back seat, because now it's about, who plays better. And like Ashok sir was saying, nobody is going to give an extra inch. They both will be out there to win. So वो bromance वाली जो बात है, शाहीन शाह अफरीदी कह रहे हैं कि मैं आपके लिए दुआ कर रहा हूँ विराट कोहली की भाई आप फॉर्म में आ जाएं, और विराट कोहली बाबर आजम के लिए कह रहे हैं कि वाओ आई लव दिस मैन, ही इज ब्रिलियंट, ही इज इंस्पायर्ड सो मेनी पीपल. ऑल ऑफ दैट नाउ टेक्स अ बैक सीट. अब है टाइम फॉर एक्शन.
अच्छा मेहा, अशोक सर अनाबर साहब दोनों को. अच्छा, I would like to go a bit in the background, being nostalgic. ये ईयर है 1989. मैं एक छोटा स्कूल गोइंग किड हूँ. इंडिया की टीम बहुत अरसे बाद पाकिस्तान टूर कर रही है.
सर आपने, कैन यू हियर मी अशर भाई? Okay, just when we were about to hear this story from Ashar Zaidi, Ashok sir, before the show started, he said that he's done pakka arrangement. It doesn't look like that's happened, because we're again losing network. But just coming back to India, and why, even Rohit Sharma in the press conference said that, look, we know that we lost the last game that we played against them in the T20 World Cup, but it's not really on our mind all the time. And fair enough, it's not on your mind, but right now when you're taking that opposition on, and you know what the rivalry has been, you also know, off the field, what the situation is between the two countries, then how do you think the players approach a match like this?
See, they're very, very, very friendly off the park. Believe you me, it is in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. The bromance is there when the game is now. The moment they cross the line, it's a different war. It's war. Believe you me, it's war. Nobody wants to give an inch. They know there's a lot at stake. Lot at stake. That is why they go hammer and toss at each other. And believe you me, nobody wants to do to lose this game. They know Asia Cup counts for nothing.
Yeah.
If you beat Pakistan, India will think they've won the game. And if Pakistan beats India, they'll think they've won the Asia Cup. Although they have a chance to redeem themselves in this Asia Cup. But the fact is, it is do or die for you. Whichever match, whichever India-Pakistan match, it is do or die. And the bromance takes a backseat the moment first ball is good.
Also for India now, this is, Ashok sir, it becomes about India's new approach as well, because we know in less than 2 months away, we will be playing the T20 World Cup in Australia. And why I'm saying this is because of what happened with this Indian team, and it began with the match against Pakistan, is the way they lost in the T20 World Cup. Rohit Sharma then said that, look, we are going in for a completely new approach. We're going to be attacking, aggressive. So we're changing the template of how we want to approach our cricket in limited overs. This is a litmus test of sorts for this team with the new approach, because you are going to be playing multiple teams here, and things are not going to be as easy.
Merely, Rohit Sharma said that when neither Rahul nor Virat was inside. So has he put this to them on paper? Yeah. Has he put them change your game, change your intent, change your like the badge ball? It lasted only one series. Now they're back to playing normal cricket. Yeah. So that hitting and not having a care in the world doesn't last for long. Rohit Sharma would not like to play those cameos of 20s and 30s. That is not what Rohit Sharma is all about. He is the one who carries his bat through, who plays 20 overs, scores 100, and same with Virat and Rahul. So they are different kettle of fish, and I don't think it's going to work. Because if he's going to play that kind of a cricket, then you got Surya Kumar Yadav and Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya who play that brand of cricket, not Rahul, Rohit Sharma or Virat.
Away from toss, and we will get to know whether India will go in with 3 specialist spinners, because that's something that people have been talking about. Also, the fact that between Rishabh Pant and Dinesh Karthik, and I know you have strong views on this, because on one of the earlier shows you said, what is Dinesh Karthik doing in this team? I mean, are you really seeing him as a finisher? He's not been able to do that job for many years. What makes you think that he'll be able to do it now? But in that case, right now, with the way Rishabh Pant's been playing, do you then see that the super specialist role that they have for Dinesh Karthik, he will have to sit out today?
I think he'll have to sit out, because whether Ashwin plays or Adesh Khan plays, it depends on what kind of wicket, because the way wicket was in Afghanistan-Sri Lanka game, there is a lot of life for fast bowler. So it might tilt the balance in favor of a fast bowler instead of a spinner. I said Ashwin, Jadeja, and Yuzvendra, but it looks like it might be just a waste time. Who might tip the spinner. But the fact is, about Dinesh Karthik, I don't see him anywhere. Meha, which player has ever won in last 2 years? When you got a good striker, in Hindi word, if I say lat hai aapke paas, you got the big hitters like Hardik Pandya. You got the big hitters like Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant. Why would I need, and even somebody like Ravindra Jadeja who can wheel the willow, who can hit the long ball. So I don't understand why. Why would I need a Dinesh Karthik instead of a batter or a bowler? I would even prefer somebody like Deepak Hooda ahead of Dinesh Karthik, who can bowl. And maybe if you don't want to play Ashwin, then you can try Deepak Hooda. He's another all-rounder in the making.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's something we've been having this conversation for a while now, but Deepak Hooda, who's done everything right and yet does not find a place in the playing 11. And also the fact that you may go in with a new approach, but your top 5 are the same players that played in the T20 World Cup that you lost. So how quickly can you change that approach? Because you don't see Virat Kohli changing that approach, given that he's going through this slump. Rahul hasn't got enough game time. So I'm wondering how they will do this. But Ashar Zaidi is back. Just before I go to him, there is now the news that Rohit Sharma has won the toss. So that's the news that is coming in. I will tell you that Rohit Sharma has won the toss, and I will just tell you what India has decided to do. But there's a network problem here as well. I don't seem to be getting the update on what has happened. So if the PCR can tell me what has happened with India winning the toss, have they chosen to bat first, or they've chosen to yes? Okay, we'll wait on that. But the other good news is that that Rahul Dravid, he recovered from COVID, so he's back in the camp. Good news for Pakistan as well as Naseem Shah. He has been handed a T20 cap, and one of the more talented bowlers that you're seeing now, and Ashar bhai can come in on this. हम तो 1989 में चले गए थे, फिर एकदम से उसी के हिसाब से नेटवर्क खराब हो गई. हाँ
जी, 1989 में इंटरनेट अच्छा नहीं था, तो मैं ऐसे ही बता रहा था कि जब तक वो रिजल्ट आता है कि आई वेंट विद माय फादर टू वॉच द गेम इन नेशनल स्टेडियम कराची, एंड वी वर लाइक, आई वाज वेरी एक्साइटेड. फादर सेड यार एक नया लड़का है इंडिया में, कुछ सचिन करके नाम है उसका, and Sachin Tendulkar was making a debut. So I am one of those proud people who has seen Sachin take a debut. And if you would like to comment on this, Neha?
Yeah, just that India have won the toss and they've opted to field first. And I also get the reason why they've done this, because of what the Dubai pitch offers. We've seen in the past, and in the T20 World Cup as well, teams chasing, having a clear advantage. Dew may also play a role, though we didn't get to see any dew in the match between Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, but that was also because Afghanistan finished the match in 10 overs. And how is that for a statement, that Afghanistan has made in this Asia Cup? But for Rohit Sharma at the toss, this is what he said. Honestly, I don't think the toss is that important. We're just here to play good cricket. We played here in the IPL, so hopefully the pitch will be good. It was a tough call we had to take between Dinesh Karthik and Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant sadly misses out. Ashok Malhotra will have some very, 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 very tough stance on this. So Rishabh Pant misses out. Did you think this was going to happen?
No, not in my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you have a guy? Why don't you have Dhoni back? Dhoni is younger than Dinesh Karthik. And you are going backwards. You have got a guy who's a match winner, who's won you test matches, who won you very recently won your one-day game in England. How can you drop him? Is Dinesh Karthik a better wicketkeeper than Rishabh Pant? I would not say so. And batting, Rishabh Pant can take the game away. He can play a blinder. He's a guy who can be a match winner. So what Dinesh? I don't know all of a sudden how Dinesh Karthik has become Messiah of Indian cricket. I will never understand. 17 years, the guy who has done nothing. 17, he was in the Indian team, Meha, before the Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And he's in the team even after Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So I don't know what he has been doing on those 17 years. Because he played well, played reasonably well in the IPL, he has leapfrogged everybody else and is a part of the Indian team. For me, it is a disaster.
Okay, yeah. And I also, when you look at his numbers, he has done well in the IPL. He was striking at over 200 in the death overs, and I get where they're coming from, where they're giving him this role of a super specialist finisher. Come in the last 5 overs and finish the chase or give India the push that it needs. But in international cricket, after that, after IPL, his numbers haven't been that good. The strike rate has also come down substantially. So it's a tricky one. But India are taking that tough call and going in with Dinesh Karthik in place of Rishabh Pant. Also, Avesh Khan, there was this talk around why Ravichandran Ashwin. You said this, Ashok sir, in the preview show yesterday, that if you're taking Ravichandran Ashwin there, why would you not play him? But it looks like the management has other plans for Ravichandran Ashwin. He will be warming the bench tonight. It is Avesh Khan. Again, I think when you look at India's pace attack in the absence of Jasprit Bumrah and Harshal Patel, Avesh Khan is the weak link. He hasn't been as impressive since his debut, has been expensive, gets wickets but leaks a lot of runs. So that is another thing. But ek aur cheez hai about Pakistan is that this is what Babar Azam said at the toss. Ashar bhai says, we would have been bowling first as well, but this is not in our hands. We look to make a big score and see 3 fast bowlers, 2 spinners and a debut for Naseem Shah. There are new faces and some old faces in that Indian team. We are trying to give it our best. And this is India's playing 11. And like I said, there was this conversation, this talk around whether India might go in with three spinners, but they have gone in with Avesh Khan. Of course, we also understand the reason behind that, because Hardik Pandya, I feel, who's been bowling so well, Ashok sir, but I get the feeling that India does not want to put him in any situation where he's under pressure. I think Hardik Pandya is somebody they just want to keep in cotton wool, and they want to give him support in whatever way they can. They don't want him injured. They don't want him, they want to manage his workload. I think keeping all of that in mind, Avesh Khan comes in. Do you think that's another reason?
I think the reason behind Avesh Khan in the side is the grass. Because a lot of grass on the pitch, it is a bit lively. That is why Ashwin misses out. So the thing is, and when you talk about Hardik Pandya, I think he is bowling 140 plus. Neha. He's been bowling brilliantly. He just bowled 4 overs, and he's been a very, very crucial link. So now you're playing with 4 fast bowlers and 2 spinners. So because maybe Ashwin missed out because of maybe Asif Ali, who supposedly hammers the ball all over the park, who hits a
156.
So maybe
he's practicing 100 to 156s a day.
Yes, exactly. And Ashwin struggles to bowl against right-handers, because if you look at Ashwin in T20 cricket, he bowls more of leg spinners than off spinners. So, Ashwin is a great Ravichandran Ashwin. He's not a great Anesto player. So I will never understand why he bowls leg spin in T20 cricket than he's the orthodox off spin.
Okay, let's also take a look at Pakistan's playing 11, and Ashar Bhai can take us through that. Babar, Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Fakhar Zaman. Everything depends on these 3. I'm sure Ashar Bhai will disagree, because he'll want their middle order to do well as well in case they lose early wickets. And we saw what that pitch was doing yesterday. I mean, the first innings, it was incredible. The ball was moving like a, what would I say, like a snake. But take a look at that playing 11 for them. And I don't know, Ashar Bhai, but the inexperience in bowling, is that something that worries you about Pakistan?
Not too much. I don't think it's about being inexperienced for these guys. We have discussed this a lot. Ashok sir was saying yesterday. It's a T20 game, just 2 or 3 balls change the games. And when you talk about experience wise, yes, international exposure might not be there. But remember, Dubai is our second home. I mean, most of these guys have played much more in Dubai as they would have played anywhere else in the world. So it's a very balanced team. You've got 3 fast bowlers, you've got 4 spinners. Khushdil Shah can do bowling. I mean, anyone you talk in this team, I'm sure if Razwan takes off his gloves, he can bowl 2 or 3 good overs. So a very balanced side, I would say. Yes, as we talked yesterday, Shoaib Malik was one factor I would have wanted to see in this team, but I think that's looked ahead. Pakistan wants to move forward. So again, a very balanced side, and now that they are asked to bat first, Ashok sir, this is interesting. I mean, this is now going to test Pakistan's mettle. Can they put up a score? We have seen the pitch. It's helping the fast bowlers. So the both teams have got that arsenal and firepower going out. It's going to be a game of fast bowlers for sure. We can say that. But will Fakhar Zaman hit up? Will Rizwan and Babar play that anchor role? And then we have Asif, Khushdil Shah, all these guys who can hit it out of the park. So I'm ready and excited for a nail biter today.
That's my other thing to you, Ashar Bhai, where a lot of people are talking about this now. Pakistan's strength can sometimes turn out to be their weakness. And why I'm saying this is that you're dependent on your top 3 who've actually been extremely good in T20 internationals since the World Cup. I was seeing these numbers, which were fascinating. 67% of the runs scored by Pakistan have been by their top 3. But what was interesting beyond that was that 72%, I think, was them facing most of the deliveries. 72%. So my thing is that in a situation like this, sometimes is it because they just don't have enough confidence in their middle order? Is that something? And can that come back to bite them? or the fact that, you know, do you play an aggressor or an anchor in a situation like this if, say, you lose a wicket?
Let's flip the situation and say that other opponents don't get these guys out. When they go and bat in, they just stick in. Others are not getting them out. And the guys who are down there, there's Khushdil, there's Asif, and these kind of guys, they're not getting that much of a chance to go out and show their power. But I would say, don't roll them out. This is a blessing in disguise. That creates that extra butterfly, that power in your stomach to go out and hit over there. So as I said, most of these guys, you might not have seen them too much performing on the international level, but this for them. And yesterday we were talking about the mood and the approach in the Pakistani camp. Honestly speaking, the good thing that has happened after Babar Azam has come in, he has neutralized the intensity of these games. Even when we won the match against India in the World Cup, if you would remember, there were videos circulating. Very next moment, Babar Azam saying, "Bhai, हमने एक मैच जीत लिया, कोई बात नहीं, हम World Cup जीतने आए." So he has killed the intensity. This is a regular game for them. These guys are enjoying, they're gelling in, and this is a very different Pakistan team we have seen in few years. There's no nail biting. There's no one rushing for the captaincy post. They're all focused. They respect Babar Azam, and that adds an extra bit to the team. Yes, this time I would say it's a different challenge for them. But in case, I would say, touch wood, I'm sitting on a table. If Babar and Rizwan don't work, if something happens to Fakhar, we have guys down there who are waiting for their chance. And who knows, after this game, you would be saying there's a new star in Pakistan by the name of Khushdil Shah or Asif Ali and so on. So keep your eyes open.
Okay, but if you just take the top order out, the middle order has scored at, their average has been, I think, 15. since last year.
आप चांस तो दें, ये स्टैट्स छोड़ें, आप चांस तो आने दें.
चलिए चांस देते हैं आपको, पर एक और चांस है अभी, एक और चांस है अशोक सर for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He's found his swing, has been bowling really well, 20 wickets this year in T20 internationals, 12 have come in power play. In a situation like this, where you're trying to get someone like Babar Azam out, Mohammad Rizwan out, how important is his role right now?
Very, very important, especially on a wicket ball if the ball is done.
Yeah.
International cricketers are very comfortable when ball is coming at pace or bouncing. But when ball is darting around, swinging, and both ways, then most best of players, they tend to strike. I understand Rizwan and Babar has been a top-notch partnership. They are the best opening player for a while for Pakistan. But it is like that if they get out. It is something like a boxer who has been knocking guys out in the first 1 or 2 rounds. But if he has to go for 5 rounds, you don't know how he's going to behave and perform. Because the late order batters, we have heard so much about us. You know, he hits big, but we have to wait and watch. As Ashar said, we will have to see, can he do it in a big game, a crunch game? He can become a hero overnight if he does that, what he does in the nets. So that is there. But because the ball is going to dart, it's not going to be easy. First 6 overs are going to be vital for both sides. If we pick up a couple of wickets, I think we will be at top. Yeah. But if they don't, if we don't pick up wickets, they get 6 overs, 50 odd, then maybe Pakistan will have the edge.
अच्छा चलिए,
we would be looking for someone to deliver those 2 lethal deliveries from Indian side, and
what
maybe the game might run
what Shaheen Afridi did. What Shaheen Afridi
is not there.
एक मजे की बात मुझे आपसे शेयर करनी थी. हाँ. एक मजे की बात शेयर करनी थी. As we said, I'm living in Canada, and we have all these Pakistani and Indian guys together. So last night there was a religious occasion where a lot of guys from Noida, India, they have migrated to Canada, and they were with me. हमने बड़ा मजा किया, सब कुछ हुआ. And after that, we were sitting around, we were having chai, samosa. The moment we had the last bite of samosa and chai, all bets were off. हमने कहा, okay भाई, रात हो गई, खुदाफिज, घर जा रहे. कल हमारी अब दोस्ती नहीं है. We are switching it off for few hours over here. और मैच के बाद ना फिर जरा हमारा धमाल होगा, देखते हैं कौन हारता है. अच्छा अशोक जी, बड़ा मजे की बात है कि there's a very famous street in Toronto which is called Gerrard Street. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. So. Yeah. Majority Indian restaurant and shops and a few Pakistani restaurants, like anywhere else. So last time when we won, we made sure we take out the badla of so many defeats, and there were like 1,000 cars on that street honking their horns, sitting on the bonnets of your cars with Pakistani flags, and everyone's thinking, "Ho gaya mauka, maza aaya." So if that happens today, whoever wins, Gerrard Street is going to be the hub of activities tonight, and I'll make sure I go and cover that for you. So it's tremendous fun. The excitement is too much. It's only that the weather is topsy-turvy over here, so people are forced to sit inside and watch. That's the only thing.
And I'm sure this is exactly how it is. This is among fans. This is again amongst media. I won't be surprised if I know those people who've come from Noida from media. I think I know. Maybe I'll ask you after the show later on. But this is something that we're seeing, and so many players have talked about this. I mean, you speak to Waqar Younis, used to be on my show, who always had the most fascinating stories to tell about what would happen after the match or even before or when they met up. So I'm sure you have some stories like these as well. Ashok sir?
Yes, sir, I have. I very vividly remember 1986. We have just won the World Championship in Australia. We came to Sharjah and Pakistan pulled us out to 125. So there was pin drop silence in the Indian dressing room, wherever the music was blaring in Pakistan dressing room, very loud, and we were all, and when Pakistan came in, we bowled them out for 85, and the roles have reversed. The music was blaring in our dressing room, and there was pin drop silence in Pakistan because they couldn't believe it. Because 125, they thought they're home, so, but it didn't happen because I still remember Gavaskar picked up 7 catches, and it was amazing. It was unbelievable. And not to forget, even the crowd was very unhappy. Believe you me, our bus, which had to go past the crowd, it had a lot of dents in it when we went through it. So believe you me, it is no love lost when the India-Pakistan match happens. And as Ashar said, it is worldwide phenomenon because you go to England, you go to Canada, you go to anywhere in the world. India-Pakistan, the bromance, India-Pakistan, expatriates. But the moment India-Pakistan,
all these countries have become a mini India and Pakistan. Yeah. The Goras are running away, and everywhere you see their desis.
But आपके साथ Ashar bhai, when you were covering as well, have there been instances where among the players you've seen something? There's one thing that you see the rivalry on the field, but off it, it's completely different.
Yeah. Lots of interesting things. So one thing just comes in my mind. It's the very first time we saw Parthiv Patel come in the team. And this is, I'm talking about the 2004 or 6 series. And my word, he was such a young kid that we were all shocked to see.
He's still a kid. He looks like a kid even now. You see him.
And I remember I was with Moin Khan. I was in his room in the hotel and we were just walking out and this kid came out. And I said, yaar, ye itte security thi, bachcha kahan se aa gaya? So someone comes up and says, कि नहीं भाई ये अपना what was his name, forgot it, कि ये player है, ये Indian team के साथ खेल रहा है. So yes, apart from that, I mean outside I've seen these players, lots of things that I should not say on air, but I've seen. I also remember that when India was in Karachi, I remember Harbhajan Singh calling Shahid Afridi and saying, लाला हम तुम्हारे शहर में आए यार, कोई मेहमान नवाजी नहीं है, तुम लोग तो इतने लोग हैं, क्या करो? तो Shahid, I mean, he has a big heart, Afridi, and he always suddenly calls his 4 or 5 friends. The Land Cruisers come and hold on. Harbhajan and a few other guys come in. We take them to our restaurant.
Was Gautam Gambhir there or not?
Sorry?
Was Gautam Gambhir there or not?
Gautam is a different case. I'm sure you guys know it much better. That was a total different case. So we took them out for chicken kadais and all that. So yes, apart from the screen and apart from the big screens, I mean, are Pakistani Indians guys going to sit with the New Zealand or Kiwi or Australian guys and have a nice time? No, that doesn't happen. We can sit with these white people. Ashok sir can highlight more on that. We can sit and talk to them for 10 minutes, sir. 10 minutes ke baad we want Hindi and Urdu to come back. So that harmony with the Gora players is there for 10 minutes. Then you want the same food, the same culture, talking about the same movies. I have often seen Pakistani players sitting and watching Indian movies in their rooms. And so the atmosphere is very cordial. So yes, but when it comes to the big screen, we all know that this could be a make or break for them.
Yeah. What I find very surprising, and both of you can come in on this, what I find very surprising is that now, because it's like a little global cricket village, everybody is playing IPL, they're playing other leagues. Of course, India and Pakistan are not playing in any of the leagues together. But despite that, you see that camaraderie with other players, like Ashar bhai was saying, गोरे लोगों के साथ इतना नहीं है, पर उनके साथ भी अब आजकल चलिए बहुत, क्योंकि आईपीएल इतना खेलते हैं, पीएसएल वहाँ पे खेलते हैं, तो थोड़ा बहुत रहता है. पर इंडिया पाकिस्तान का वो जो कनेक्शन है, that is different. You can have that friendship, but the connection, because of similar culture, because both nations came out of one, it's like brothers together, so उनका अलग ही एक वो connection रहता है, नहीं अशोक सर?
बिल्कुल नेहा, और सबसे बड़ी बात है जब इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच होता है ना, चाहे इंडियन हो या पाकिस्तान, जब वो गाली देते हैं वो दिल को लगती है. जो गोरा गाली देता है वो आधी समझ नहीं आती, ऊपर से निकल जाता. So that is what it is. When a Pakistani or Indian, we abuse in our language, which we understand very well, and it is not with normal language, which is the way we speak, and the Punjabi language, we know how it is. So that is what it is. So that is why the camaraderie is always going to be there. As you very rightly said, we are from the same nation, two nations, but we started from the same place. But the fact is, the language, the culture, the food habits, everything is the same. So that is why we gel well together. But as Ashar said, the moment you cross the line, it's over.
Acha. Let's also take a look at some visuals from Dubai. Look at the fans. Indian flag. Ye dekhiye. Lots of Indian fans there as well. And I'm sure there's similar number of Pakistani fans. Like we've been saying, it's been completely sold out. Listen into what they're saying.
जी अभी देखते हैं. मेहा, one interesting thing that I can recall, अशोक सर, मुझे नहीं पता आपका वो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है या नहीं, कि for the last 10-20 years we have been fortunate to sit in the commentary box, the press box, and enjoy the meal and watch the game. लेकिन सर, I remember those times कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान तो कम हुआ, लेकिन वो जो एक्साइटमेंट थी ना सर, टिकट खरीदने की, फिर लाइन में लगने की, पुलिस वालों का डंडा खा के अंदर जाने की, and looking for street food and everything. You cannot, I mean, that experience cannot be replicated anywhere. जो इंडिया पाकिस्तान का होता है ना सर, अंदर जाके मैच देखना, और फिर अब आपकी टीम अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही तो हूट करना. I mean, it's fabulous. And sitting here, I miss that, and I wish we have much more tours. You guys coming to us, we going there. तो वो जो स्टेडियम जाके देखने का एक्सपीरियंस है ना सर, मैंने ऐसे कहा, पुलिस के डंडे बहुत खाए सर, कि लाइन से लग के निकल रहे हैं, ये कर रहे हैं. That is fabulous, sir. Miss that.
Oh, that has to happen. That'll happen when bilateral series starts. I mean, if India ends up playing Pakistan, inshallah, at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm being told now in my earpiece that when you came to India, you were desperate to have some Mughlai food. And
yes. Bilkul.
And you went to Jama Masjid.
Yes, I'm a very history buff, so Rajendra ji that's where we got to come together, and taking me to the old Delhi places and all these places. It was a fabulous experience, and I was always comparing कि यार ये जो दिल्ली की जामिया मस्जिद है, it's similar build on the plans like the Badshahi Mosque in Lahore and everything. And the striking thing was that because there was so much coming and going at that time, the love and the warmth we got in India. I mean, anywhere we went, apart from two fellas who used to follow us all the time, which are उनकी duty लगी हुई थी, I feel sorry for them. Anywhere else we went, I mean, people opened their doors just by knowing that we are from Pakistan. And before coming, we were hearing यार वो दुश्मनी है, वहाँ people won't treat you and this and that. The only difference I saw, two things I would highlight. One was the signboards were Hindi, in our place they were Urdu. And second, the auto people, the auto rickshaw walas. I mean, the moment they realize you're not from this city, and they're out with their knife to cut your pockets and take the 50 rupees fare to 150 and all that. So that was the only thing. And same happened when all these people came to Pakistan. I mean, if you talk to Vikrant Gupta and other people, for 40 days, they didn't have to spend a single rupee to buy food.
This I've heard, yeah.
For 40 days. अशोक सर जहां जाते थे हम बताते जी इंडिया से दोस्त आए हैं, अजी उनको हम क्रिकेट मैचेस खिला रहे हैं, यहाँ खाने ले जा रहे हैं, ऑब्वियसली जो डाइटरी हैबिट्स सब करके. So I mean, I don't want to make any political statement over here. I'm not even entitled for that. But जो warmth दोनों countries में, I dream of a day when we can come together और हमें कनाडा अमेरिका आना ना पड़े, हम घूमने के लिए इंडिया जाए और इंडिया वाले जो है पाकिस्तान आए. I dream for that day.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the 2004 tour,
Yes.
which started the whole bilateral series again. And I remember a lot of journalists then who were sent from channels and from publications who said that, you know, if you told them you were from India, they would just open their doors for you and they'd get you in, they'd really treat you as a जो वो कहते हैं ना मेहमान नवाजी, वो बहुत अच्छी तरह से होती थी. पर चलिए अब आज के मैच की थोड़ी सी और बात कर लेते हैं. तो विराट कोहली, we've got to talk about विराट कोहली, Ashok sir, because this is his 100th T20 international. This will be and he's already played 100 tests, 100 ODIs, 100th T20 international. It's a huge moment for him. It's a different thing that he's going through the slump that everybody has been talking about. He spoke about it yesterday, and I thought some of the things that he said, you felt for him because of the kind of pressure that Virat Kohli deals with. We spoke about this even when Sachin Tendulkar, you know, a billion hopes, you're carrying the pressure of that, and that can get difficult. But against Pakistan, Virat Kohli in T20 internationals seems to enjoy his batting. 7 matches, 311 runs at a strike rate of 118. But of those 7 matches, in 4 of those, he's top scored. And even in the last match that they played in the T20 World Cup, he was the savior really, because India could have gotten out for far less if he'd not scored 59. I think Ashar Bhai has a slight smirk on his face. I'm not going to get to that, but just how important is this now with India going into the T20 World Cup in just less than 2 months of Virat Kohli to hit form?
I think this match can be a game changer for Virat Kohli. One, his track record against Pakistan is awesome. 2, he will be chasing, and he's probably the best chaser in the entire world. When he is chasing a target, he's probably the best batsman to be in your side. So it might be, I know he's out of form, I understand that.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, it has to change because he's a legend. He's a great batter. It cannot go on forever. It's already gone for 3 years. So time has come for him. And what better game for this team? You know, because India, Pakistan, it can't be bigger. And that is where he can turn the tide in his favor. The people who are a little bit disappointed. I wouldn't say they all want him to succeed, but they're a little bit disappointed that he's not been performing as well we all anticipated. We thought he should be close to 100.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Let me pump some blood into Virat Kohli fans. Do you remember the 2012 Asia Cup? That is where Virat Kohli scored a century against Pakistan and became a fearsome name in Pakistani hearts. वो मुझे मैच याद है. Pakistan was on top, then we lost. India lost the first wicket. Everyone was going bananas in Pakistan, and then Kohli started playing. I think 147 or something he made. So Asia Cup is his hunting ground, and God knows. I mean, I want to again touch wood for Pakistani fans, but you never know. This might be that triggering point for Kohli today.
He scored 200 chasing. Yes, in Asia Cup.
Meha and Ashar, to do that, India has to be 10 for 1. Because if we are 80 for 1, then will Virat Kohli be able to do what we all know he can do that. So if Virat has to score runs, if he has to win match for India single-handed, then India has to be 10 for 1 while chasing.
Absolutely. And I think with Virat Kohli, you know, the part that I find, and I keep coming back to it because I don't know, somehow I can't understand the thinking behind it, that before you try, I mean, the reason why you've tried Surya Kumar Yadav at the top with Rohit Sharma, you've tried Rishabh Pant, because you realize what they bring, right, to the game, Ashok sir. You know that, you know, they're attacking players, Surya Kumar Yadav against the spinners. We've seen how Virat is even struggling against the spinners now. With KL Rahul not having enough game time. I don't know. What is the reason? Are we being too stubborn about not wanting to change things? Are we playing players on reputation? And I know Virat Kohli gets the longest rope that there ever will be because of what he is. But with KL Rahul as well.
Absolutely, Meha, you're spot on. We have got a very old-fashioned coach, believe me. He's a great guy. He's a real gentleman. But you have to be a tough man. You have to be able to take tough decisions. And I think, as you very rightly said, you're going with the time. You're not able to take tough decisions. Why, if you decided to open with Rishabh Pant, which is probably the best option for him in T20 cricket, not in one day or test match, but in T20 cricket, because he can take advantage of the power play. When you decided, or Surya Kumar Yadav, then why didn't you go ahead with it? Or you're waiting that they're warming the seat for KL Rahul to come back and they will play one game, and now you have dropped Rishabh Pant from the 11, which is unthinkable, Meha. I think entire country can't believe it. How can you do that? What was the thinking? It defies cricketing logic. So that is my thing. We all are cricket lovers, and I think it defies cricketing logic. I don't know what whether him getting fit from COVID is beneficial for India team or not. If this kind of a decision is going to take, then I think he should have been COVID affected and stayed home.
Yeah, no, I find this really strange as well, because between Rishabh Pant and Dinesh Karthik, I mean, I know it was going to be a difficult choice, but somehow I just felt, given that Dinesh Karthik hasn't been able to replicate his success in international cricket after the IPL, I felt that maybe they would go in with Rishabh Pant. And Rishabh Pant's also shown that, it's not just in test cricket, he's phenomenal. Limited overs as well. He's shown what he can do. Yes.
Neha, what Dinesh Karthik has done is an IPL. IPL international bowler is one, on batsman two. Others are domestic bowlers. Whereas when you play international cricket, they're all international bowlers.
And now,
so that is where...
Sorry, I'm just cutting you here, but that's why I think Ashar Bhai is gone, because second ball, Mohammad Rizwan's gone. So, with that, and how big is this moment then? If one of the three gone second ball.
Meha, it is not that Rizwan is gone. I think that he's the lifeline.
Yeah.
Babar Azam never gets under pressure when Rizwan fires, because he takes the bowlers on, and Babar Azam can consolidate, bat for 20 overs and score his runs. As I said before, he has always been doing for Pakistan what Sehwag was doing for India. So that is if he is out, then it's a very, very big blow for them. And I think it's if I may stick my neck out, it might be Game India from now onwards.
It's still not showing it here on the app, but yes, I think with that we'd like to wrap this up. Okay, so that's false alarm. I'm just being told Rajinder sir got excited. There was a review taken and it's not out. So anyway, with that we'll wrap this up right after the match. We'll join you again. So do come back at around 11:15, 11:30, whenever the match finishes. Right after that, we will go live, and hopefully it's an Indian win, because that's what we want. That's what every Indian wants today, India winning this game. That's it. Thank you so much, Ashok Malhotra, for joining us, as well as Ashar Zaidi. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest from the world of sports. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.